I'm your boogeyman. That's what I am. I'm not the boogeyman, actually. SCP-15 is. It's 015-IT, which is from the Italian version of the SCP Foundation. We're gonna get into it by Dr. Bob today. Let's do it.
A young man is in the middle of one of his regular night jogs through the park.
Alright.
He loves running through this park at night. It's dark,
Running at night
the air
is
is
cool.
cool, and the sounds of the city that surround the park disappear.
I run early in the
offering
morning on a
peace,
treadmill in the
quiet,
gym because it's safer.
and a small reprieve
I
from the
live in the
busy
ghetto,
world.
kinda.
He
Yeah.
jogs along a path that winds through the park and starts upon a section that is surrounded on both sides by tall trees.
Where's the boogeyman?
He follows the path around a sharp bend
I want to see.
and is stopped in his tracks.
Huh? Tired?
Standing there,
Ooh.
in the middle of the track, is a figure.
Yeah.
It has its back to him and
Look
isn't
his
moving.
hand. How long?
He's tall and so uniformly
arm.
black that he almost disappears into
Very,
the night.
very dark.
Whoever or whatever this is,
It's
he's
weird.
scared of it.
Yeah, well, turn around
But the
and run.
creature doesn't move, and neither does he.
Why are you not
He's
running?
frozen, unsure of what to do. When
Anomalous
the creature suddenly
fear.
turns his head towards him, revealing a pair of bright,
Oh!
glowing eyes. The runner is so terrified he can't
Yeah.
even scream. He falls and crawls backwards in the dirt, trying to get away from the creature.
What?
The creature turns its body towards him
Oh,
and
that's
begins
not
stepping
good.
forward.
That's
the
not
runner
good.
scrambles to his feet and runs.
Well,
He's
that-
sprinting as hard
you
and as
shoulda
fast
did that
as he
the-
can.
at first when you
Adrenaline
saw
pumping,
it.
heart pounding, trying to put as much distance as he can between himself
Right.
and that thing. His muscles burn, his lungs ache, but he can't
Oh
stop.
my gosh.
Finally, he's back
hear the
at his
heartbeat
house.
with the,
He bursts through the door, locking and bolting
Like
it
that little
behind him.
effect, Dr. Bob.
His girlfriend is reading on the couch and doesn't understand what's going on.
Sweetheart, I saw the
After
boogeyman.
struggling to catch his breath, he tries to explain what he saw in the
Right.
path. But his girlfriend just laughs. A giant man with glowing eyes. He was just seeing things
Listen,
in the dark.
you see how
It was
sweaty I
probably
am?
a dog. Nothing
was
that would
sca-
justify
No,
the
it's not
panic
a
he was in.
dog.
The next day, he's left wondering if he really was mistaken.
You need to break
Those
up
piercing,
with her, man.
glowing eyes are burned into his mind
She
still.
don't help.
Maybe
you.
his girlfriend
She
was
don't
right,
believe in you.
and it really was just a dog.
No,
Yes,
she's a
that
hater.
must be it. His mind was just playing
I
tricks
saw
on
the
him in the dark.
boogeyman, boo.
Even so, he's going to stick to running inside, at least for a little
Yeah,
while.
treadmill
But
it,
he
my
soon
boy.
finds
That's how I
that
do.
he's having a hard time. He notices that he's running out of breath much quicker than normal.
Uh-oh.
Is he coming down with something?
Uh-oh.
He doesn't feel sick.
He got the
But then
COVID.
why is he suddenly so weak?
Uh-oh, the boogeyman.
2 weeks have passed since
He
he
looks
saw something in the
a
park.
little more
No
slender,
one he
huh?
brought it up to, not his friends, not his co-workers, have ever heard of such a thing.
Right.
And no one seemed like they believed him either.
You didn't look on the
At
internet?
this point, he is feeling sure that he really did imagine it. But
Right.
he can't get that image of whatever it was out of his head. He can't keep running on a treadmill forever, though.
Right.
He misses his night runs. It's time to get over his fear.
No, the
He's running
boogeyman's
through the
gonna
park
get
again,
you.
enjoying the silence and the light breeze on his skin. He continues down the path,
Uh-huh.
acutely aware that he's getting closer and closer to the spot where he saw that thing
Right.
before. He can't stop, though. He has to prove to everyone that he's not afraid. He has
You
to
brought
prove
your
it to
phone?
himself. He reaches the part of
Capture
the
it on
path
video?
that runs through the tall trees. Just like before, the sounds of the city melt away, the only sound coming from his steady, heavy breathing. He follows the winding path and
Uh-oh.
feels his heart starting to race.
Yeah.
But he has to keep
Getting
going.
scared. I love the red
He
effect,
rounds the
Dr.
same
Bob.
corner,
This is
and
it's good stuff.
nothing is there.
Yeah, the boogeyman is
He
gone.
slows to a stop.
No boogeyman.
Of course nothing is here. Nothing ever was. He really did imagine it.
No.
Or did he?
No, you didn't. Ha ha! The
Buongiorno.
boogeyman jumped him.
Today's file comes from the Italian branch of the SCP Foundation.
Spice and meatballs. Italian
SCP-015-IT,
food, man.
also known
Love
as
it.
the
The
Boogeyman.
boogeyman.
SCP-015-IT is a humanoid entity that stands just under 2 meters tall.
All right.
Its body is devoid of any hair, and its dark black skin absorbs 98% of all light, making it virtually invisible in low light.
Very, very.
Its
Except for
head
them
lacks
eyes.
a nose or ears, but these missing features are hardly noticed, because if you see
And
015-IT,
teeth.
its eyes are what demand all of your attention.
Right.
While the boogeyman's skin is completely black, its eyes contain light-producing organs on the irises, causing
kinda
them to glow in the dark, like a deep-sea predator. Its
Yeah,
mouth
an
contains
anglerfish.
8 pointed
Those are
teeth on
really
both
cool
the
fish.
upper and lower jaws, and a long 28-centimeter forked tongue.
Now
The
that's
2 tips of its tongue each
That's
have a hollow
creepy,
needle-like organ
bro.
that leads straight into its esophagus.
Oh.
More on what it does with that specialized biological feature soon.
Oh no.
Physically, SCP-015-IT is rather slight, but it is surprisingly strong and easily able to overpower an adult human.
Through that D class.
Its skinny arms are much longer than an average human's, and each of its 4 fingers ends in a razor-sharp claw.
Like
it has also been shown to be quite resistant to physical injuries, and possesses the ability to heal wounds and damage to internal organs at a hyper-accelerated rate. SCP-015-IT is primarily active at night, which is unsurprising given its skin's natural camouflage in the dark. The Boogeyman hunts mammals, with humans being its preferred prey. But it does not feed on flesh. Instead, SCP-015-IT draws its sustenance from the adrenaline and noradrenaline produced by its
I was about to say fear,
adrenaline
but
and noradrenaline are chemicals the body produces to increase heart rate, blood flow, and provide more energy to the muscles in moments of stress, or in the case of SCP-015-IT, extreme fear. And it has developed a hunting method to cause this exact reaction in humans. 015-IT will usually hide in dark spots, trying to keep out of sight as much as possible as it stalks its next victim. If it has been able to remain unseen, it will wait for a moment when its prey has become distracted, so it can silently approach them. Once close enough, it will leap towards its unaware victim, grab them, and quickly bite them on the side of the torso, near where the adrenal gland is located. It uses its large teeth to anchor its mouth in place, as it uses the needles on its forked tongue to probe into their body. With one needle, it pierces directly into the adrenal gland and begins draining the blood that is now rich with fear-induced adrenaline.
Oh my God.
At the exact same time, the other needle releases a mild sedative, allowing 015-IT to feed and then depart without risk, as the victim remains immobile.
What the
Another
heck,
anomalous effect occurs when someone is unlucky enough to actually see the Boogeyman.
Super dangerous.
Roughly 2 weeks after observing the creature, the person who saw it will begin experiencing various detrimental mental effects, including hallucinations and panic attacks.
I got you.
Some will also begin to experience physical issues, most often damage to the cardiovascular system. It is unknown why exactly these mental and physical effects occur, but it is theorized that SCP-015-IT may use it as a way to weaken certain prey that it considers too strong or potentially dangerous. In 2011, the Boogeyman was actually contained, but not by the SCP Foundation. The Brotherhood of St. George's Knights is a secret order in the Catholic Church that was created by the Pope in the year 453 to either contain or eliminate all anomalies. And it was this group that first captured SCP-015-IT, which they designated as Dia 212, in line with their own classification system.
Cool.
While it was in their containment, they made a number of discoveries about the creature that they labeled as a shadow demon. First, they found that while it feeds on the fear of its victims by ingesting their blood, it doesn't actually require this to survive. Dia 212, as they call it, is an unstable entity, and feeding allows it to maintain its physical shape in our reality. In addition to its impressive physical strength, the Boogeyman is also quite intelligent, as seen by its ability to successfully hunt, attack, and escape from humans.
Can it communicate?
Strangely, it also appears to be resistant to weapons which have been blessed, causing only a fraction of the physical damage that they should when compared to a similar non-holy version. During the course of research into the creature,
so it is a demon.
Father Ilardi, a member of the Brotherhood of St. George's Knights, wrote that despite the creature being repugnant beyond every limit, he believed that it had a gentle soul, and that its screams are similar to a pained cry.
Weird.
He postulated that SCP-015-IT may have even once been a human before some dark force transformed it into the monster that it had become.
Maybe it got cursed.
He decided that it was his mission to find a way to communicate with the creature, and one day bring it back into the light and love of his god.
I see.
Father Ilardi was making good progress with the creature, and it seemed like it was even growing fond of him and his disciples.
Yeah, it just
but
wanted
his
to eat
advances
your
were
adrenaline.
halted when they were attacked by a group of soldiers from the Fascist Council of the Occult, a terrorist group that seeks to use anomalies as weapons in their quest to disrupt the social order.
That's a scary
in the attack,
group, man.
several of the Brotherhood were killed, and in the commotion, SCP-015-IT escaped. Following this, reports soon began to come from the province of Caserta that described what sounded like vampire attacks.
Yeah.
A mobile task force was sent to the area, and while 015-IT was initially able to make use of its various physical abilities to evade and escape capture, it was eventually shot with a transmitter that allowed it to be tracked. The Italian Mobile Task Force was able to surround the creature, but fearing being contained again, it responded with a level of violence that it had not been thought capable of. Several members of the task force were killed in the line of duty before the Boogeyman could finally be subdued. Today, SCP-015-IT is contained at Site Vittoria in the Emilia-Romagna region of Italy.
Cool.
Since this anomaly is both sentient and highly unpredictable in its behavior, it has been classified as Euclid.
Yeah.
It is kept in a standard humanoid entity containment cell and is monitored by video cameras and infrared sensors at all times.
I guess
Due to the light-absorbing properties of its skin, its cell and the adjacent corridors are painted white and are to be kept well lit at all times.
Right.
Twice a day, SCP-015-IT is given a normal domestic pig that it is allowed to feed on.
No.
Any personnel assigned to 015-IT duty must undergo a psychological assessment on a weekly basis.
I see.
And, regardless of the results, must be cycled out after 3 months of exposure to the
kind of like radiation work.
Now go and watch and...
That's really, really cool, man. Like, every time you hear about something that we hear about in real life, you know, like stories and fables that we grew up with, like the Boogeyman, come into the SCP universe, it's really, really neat to see how the authors actually explain these things. I really love stories like this. I hope y'all did too. Make sure to hit Dr. Bob up, you guys, as well as a couple other Dr. Bob reactions that I did. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.